in the water and near the main road, you know.
Right there, and this gully here is starting to rise. The people say they're not going to move, so let's just hope for the best. Let me give you a steady shot. This is called the Grand Spen Gully in Kingston.
With Hurricane Melissa, forecasters are predicting rains measured in feet, not inches, and warning of life-threatening storm surge levels along the southern coast of Jamaica throughout the day today. The way the National Hurricane Center put it last night is failure to take immediate action may result in injury or significant loss of life. What they're talking about is in some low-lying areas between 9 to 13 feet of storm surge. And what that could look like for so many people in Jamaica right now is this. At about 2 feet of storm surge, low-lying coastal roads begin to flood and become impassable. At 5 to 8 feet, cars become submerged. You cannot drive through that. And Hurricane Melissa, as I said, is expected to bring up to 13 feet in some areas. 10 feet of storm surge is taller than a city bus. The average first floor of a building is typically around 14 feet high. And now you can see why experts are so worried. And when the forecast could look like what we have here, it's clear why officials are saying, do not venture out of safe shelter.
A live look over Jamaica this morning where the worst of Hurricane Melissa is gone. Actually, look at this live picture. A guy in his boat right there. One way to get around. The island has been dealt a major blow. Tons of devastation. And looking at the radar now, here's Cuba. Made a second landfall there around 3 o'clock this morning. Now the storm is lifting to the north and will affect the Bahama Islands later today into tomorrow. As for Jamaica, Melissa made the landfall as a Cat 5. It brought a ton of rain, storm surge, damaging winds across the island. Melissa is officially one of the most powerful storms to hit the island in decades. And looking at the damage now, there are just examples, one after another, of homes that have been destroyed, power lines down as well, and they are going to be without power for a while until some of this infrastructure is built back. And one example you can see from this vantage point, this is up on a balcony right here, a family looking down. They didn't evacuate. They were essentially trapped for more than 24 hours because the water was so high. We do know the State Department says they've received a formal request from Jamaica to help assist in the recovery efforts. Meantime, the attention now shifting to Cuba and the Bahamas, where we were talking about the storm is headed next. Here's the most up-to-date forecast from our sister station in West Palm Beach.
Hurricane Melissa made a second landfall overnight in eastern Cuba. Happened at around 3:10 this morning as a Category 3 hurricane with winds of 120 miles per hour. As of the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, Melissa is continuing to weaken. Winds down to 115 miles per hour, but it's still a Category 3. It'll be moving out over the open waters a little bit later this morning and then over the Bahamas later on today.
And we're also continuing to track these live pictures that come in to show us exactly what it's like down there. Again, live look over Jamaica here to my left, and updates all morning here at the live desk for you.
We're now traveling to the western side of Jamaica. That's where obviously Hurricane Melissa made landfall, and this is the first time we've been able to get out of the capital city of Kingston. And you can see just some of the overwash here on the roadways. We've encountered a lot of rock slides and mudslides and down trees, some power lines over the roads, and it's difficult to navigate this area. I mean, here's an electrical wire dangling right in front of us as well. This is obviously very typical of hurricane damage, but as we get further and further into the disaster area where the core of the hurricane struck, we anticipate the destruction to be more widespread. And obviously the weather's been a challenge as well. We've encountered a lot of fog, so these narrow roads that wind through these regions as we head towards the St. Elizabeth Parish, the western portions of Jamaica. We're getting closer and closer to New Hope, where the official landfall point was. This is going to be quite a challenge, but we're going to try and report from this area that was so heavily impacted by the hurricane.
The entire Jamaica has felt the brunt of Melissa.
Hurricane Melissa is being called the storm of the century after slamming into Jamaica with devastating effect Tuesday as one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in history.
Jamaica has gone through what I can call one of its worst periods.
Melissa made landfall as a Category 5 storm with 185-mile-per-hour winds. The massive scale of the destruction quickly became clear, with extensive damage reported across southwestern Jamaica. Schools, homes, and hospitals all affected by the hurricane.
Some of those areas, like St. Elizabeth Parish, are the main food-producing regions of the country.
St. Elizabeth is the breadbasket of the country, and that has taken a beating.
Officials said hundreds of thousands of people on the island were left without power. After tearing across Jamaica, Hurricane Melissa barreled over the Caribbean toward Cuba.
Storm surge along the southeast Cuban coast 8 to 12 feet above normal tide levels. And again, dangerous major hurricane force winds expected across portions of southeastern Cuba.
More than 735,000 people have been evacuated in Cuba, where residents and officials spent days preparing for the hurricane's impact. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
This is the first Category 5 hurricane to hit Jamaica.
The reports that we have had so far would include damage to hospitals, significant damage to residential property, housing, and commercial property as well.
With powerful winds and heavy rain battering the island, the risk of storm surge and catastrophic flash flooding a real danger.
There will be flooding and there will be infrastructure damage. We have 70% of our population living within 5 kilometers of the sea in generally low-lying areas. So the risk of flood is extreme.
Residents and tourists alike riding out the storm Tuesday.
The wind that I've experienced, I've never heard or felt anything like that in my life.
It's really overwhelming.
They told everyone to pack in an emergency bag so that we will have that in all our important documents.
A hurricane hunter's view of the storm's eye on Monday, but Tuesday, that eye moved squarely over western Jamaica about 3 hours after it made landfall.
This is an extremely dangerous, life-threatening situation. Take cover now. Do not go out in the eye as it passes your area.
The National Hurricane Center warned of the potential for, quote, total structural failure.
Widespread infrastructure damage, communications loss, power loss in isolated communities, and along the southern coast, life-threatening storm surge.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Cuba has been getting blasted all morning since last night. We continue to receive hurricane strength gusts. You can just hear outside the shrapnel, pieces of roof flying off and hitting. I see power lines still up out the window. That's a good sign, but there are a lot of trees down. And it's just been hours and hours of this pounding wind, of the rain coming down. We are in a very, very solid building where I am right now, a cement house, and that has kept us safe. For the people outside, I can't imagine what it's been like. I'm sure people have lost roofs. I'm sure people have had trees come down, power lines come down, perhaps even lost homes. This is a Category 3 storm. That is a major hurricane. It can do impressive structural damage. And so as the morning goes on, at first light, we'll have a better sense of the damage that's been done here. But we continue to be under the gun here in Cuba. Hurricane Melissa is just not letting up. Patrick Ottman, CNN, Santiago de Cuba.
The same areas that are being battered by this storm on the south coast of Jamaica were also impacted only a year ago by Hurricane Beryl, a Category 4 storm. And some of those areas, like St. Elizabeth Parish, are the main food-producing regions of the country. So we know that, you know, the first time you're hit by a storm of this nature, it's devastating. The next time that a storm like this impacts the same communities, you can only imagine how difficult it will be for them.
On a humanitarian basis, we have to. So we're watching it closely, and we're prepared to move. But you know, it's doing tremendous damage. It's, as we speak, it's right there right now.